If you're wondering whether you should buy Greenhow VR, here are 5 pros and 3 cons, so let's get straight to it. The biggest pro for me is that it's such a realistic game to play. You're trapped in the Amazon rainforest and you have to survive. I mean, you literally have to think survival every minute you play. You're finding food, finding water, crafting tools and weapons, cutting down plants and trees, building fires and shelters, killing animals to eat and then cooking them on the fire, collecting water and boiling that on the fire, creating soups and crafting canteens to carry around your soup, and at the same time you have to sleep. You have to monitor your sanity levels and tend any infections or food poisoning. And the audio plays a vital role as well, and it's nicely designed with sounds of spiders, snakes, running animals, all helping to give you clues that danger is lurking ahead. And if you're playing in story mode, you have to do all this whilst trying to work your way through the challenges and adventures set in the story. And this brings me conveniently on to the second pro, which is all the modes that you can play in. There's something for everyone. As mentioned, you have the story mode, and you also have a kind of free roaming survival mode where you still have to survive, but you don't have to complete any missions. And within each of those modes you have 5 levels of difficulty, ranging from Tourist, where most threats to life are turned off, to King of the Jungle, where as well as being able to get killed by pretty much anything from a hostile tribe to going insane, your position on the map is also turned off. The one thing that attracted me to this game were the similarities with Saints and Sinners, which is one of my favourite games. You have the survival watch to monitor your health. You have your backpack where you can throw things over your shoulder that you find, store them in your backpack, and you can organise your weapons, tools, food and medication. You also have the map and the logbook, and there are bandages you can use to heal an injury. You eat and drink by holding stuff up to your mouth, and you're crafting tools and weapons. But the fun difference with Greenhow VR is that you craft them yourself instead of just throwing all your stuff into a salvage box like in Saints and Sinners. And there are similar crafted weapons like the knife, the axe and the bow and arrow. And believe it or not, there are no zombies in Greenhow VR, and there are no gangs, but you do have predators and also Amazonian tribes. One really great thing with this game is that I've never suffered any motion sickness. There is a teleport to move option, but I didn't need to use it, and I can walk around for a couple of hours with no motion sickness at all. And it's not like I don't suffer with motion sickness either. When I play Saints and Sinners, I have to turn on the vignette to reduce the motion sickness. And if you do suffer with motion sickness, Greenhow VR can be played sat down as well, which helps a lot. Overall, the mechanics with Greenhow VR are really good, and I'm really critical with the mechanics of weapons and tools. Having had Saints and Sinners as my first game, the benchmark was set really high. From the movement of the weapons to chopping down trees, building shelters and fires, it's pretty smooth with realistic actions and movements. There are some simplified shortcuts for some actions with the weapon crafting, but this just speeds up the game, which I find acceptable. There are some issues that need improving, but I'll talk about that next. I think because the mechanics are so good in this game, the small issues that do crop up do your head right in. If you try to craft weapons near your shelter, it keeps going into save mode, which is really annoying. And the mechanics of the cooking are a bit odd. It's like an invisible shield around the fire, and it's a bit tricky to know where to put your skewer to cook stuff. Also, I've had leeches on my arms, and when I go to get them off, I keep grabbing my axe from my holster. So when you're going to grab something from the floor, you often pick up your holstered weapon instead, and this can be frustrating. You can't switch a weapon in your hand, like change the direction you're holding a knife or a spear. You have to awkwardly pass it to one hand and then back again. Throwing weapons works, but is a bit clunky, and it'd be great to be able to throw stuff more accurately, especially the axe and knives, but even the rocks. When you first start playing the game, it would be good to have hints that you can turn on and off for crafting some of the weapons. A few more hints for the story mode would also be useful. Things like explore the jungle for a grappling hook is a bit broad, and I didn't know really where to start. I'd like to have a skip option in the story mode as well. In so many games you can press a button and you can skip the storytelling. As I felt at the beginning, there was too much talking and I was just too impatient for it, and I wanted to get on with my mission. It would be great to be able to open and close all of the big trunks you find, and also knock down existing shelters you find as well, so you can reuse the wood even. Also some fun stuff like firing random things from the bow or setting light to random objects. There's a pencil in the logbook, and it'd be good to be able to actually use it to make additional notes, as there is so much to learn about plants, medicines and where things are on the map. Overall, I absolutely love this game and definitely recommend it. It's in my top 3 games, and if you want more weapon crafting tips for Greenhow VR, you'll want to watch this video next. My name's Rich, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.